All right, it's 8:30 now. We've got what, 25 people? 26? You want me to, how many are supposed to be on the, I feel like a lot of people are logging on. We'll wait a couple more minutes.
Usually we got about 30, 35 folks that join in.
Okay, well, we're at 28 now, so that's good.
Mhm.
All right. Well, then tell you what, I'll go on and start just for the sake of time and everything. Um Good morning, everyone. It's Alicia Register here. I really appreciate y'all being on this call, and everybody has been so consistent. I really do appreciate the effort and energy that multiple people have put into this group. I really think it's impressive over the last, what, 5 years since this group has come to fruition. Everything that we've been able to accomplish, it's really impressive, and it just speaks to how much people care and are passionate about being a trauma center and the communities that we provide care for. So I really do appreciate everybody's hard work. It takes a village for sure. So Gabby, and also I want to give a shout out to Gabby because she is just awesome. She helps keep us so organized, and she really makes our lives a lot easier. So thank you, Gabby. So she had already sent out the minutes for the last meeting. What, last week? Whenever she sent out the email. So if everybody's had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting, and if anybody wants to make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion. It's Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
I'll
Christie.
All right. That was Christy Mathis, or?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Christy. Good morning. All right. So, I'm Greg this morning. No, I'm kidding. On the agenda. But, if Liz isn't on the call because she's at another meeting, Gabby or Kelly, do y'all, or anybody, do y'all have any updates from the GTC perspective?
Um, I don't have her list of updates. I know on my end, the PBP work group has met to review the open comment period feedback. That was March 10th through March 21st. So
Mm-hmm.
they did create some recommendations. One of those, one feedback was the yearly NTDS data submission requirement for level 4 centers.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of feedback that that was not valuable to level 4 centers. So we did end up removing that requirement for you all for FY 2026. And another comment was level 3 national TQIP attendance. Currently it's TMDs and TPMs in-person attendance. There was a recommendation that having a registrar attend is valuable. So for FY 2026, we did add registrar virtual participation in national TQIP. In person is encouraged, but it's a change for some centers. So it's 0% at risk for the registrar attendance for FY 2026. And that's for level 3 centers. And that was pretty much the changes for level 3, level 4 centers. The PBP is going to be reviewed by the Finance Committee on May 5th. And then the commission will review that PBP criteria on May 15th, and it will be in the contracts that will be sent out in June.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Well, that's good to know.
So if you guys have any questions, Kelly's part of the work group too. So if you have anything to add, Kelly.
No, you did a great job.
Yeah, I think having the registrars there is really helpful. I know our registrar that we had previously really wanted to be more involved and more attendance, but it just wasn't required. And but I think that there's a lot to add having them there, and then also administrators. I think that that's been something that people have said at TQIP for years now, like where are the administrators? We really need them here to hear the, clinical kind of outcries of like, we need this, we need that, but it costs money to do it. And I think in Georgia, we've done an amazing job having the administrators work group and involving them. And so I think just it would be nice to see that nationally. But anyways, so okay, well, let me try to zoom in on the agenda. Okay, so the next on the list is March pause update. So is Courtney on the call?
I do not see him on the call.
Okay.
I think I remember during the budget committee meeting, he said that the videographer is working on those videos. And there is some collaboration with Augusta University that is
This-
on the horizon.
Yeah, this is Damien. We've signed, I'll do my best to try to explain what's happening, but we do have a videographer, and we've also partnered with Augusta University, and those are being put together now. And so I believe we'll have a product. What Augusta University's got is I think it's a fellow that will provide some of the training, and part of their duties will be to go out to the rural hospitals to help with this training.
Good morning, it's Courtney. I did get on. I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah, fix whatever I just said.
No, it doesn't need fixing. I think you did a really good job. We believe that we will have the slide deck completely ready for the recording at the end of the month, which is pretty quick from now. But after that, we will assemble a group that's going to do the recordings. We have done some recording of some of the videos that we want. We will be reaching out to some other folks to do some more of that. And we have a budget in place to actually produce 10 classes across the state, and an agreement with an organization and the RTAC coordinator, Crystal Shellnut, to help with those in the different regions. So pretty happy where we're at right at the moment. It has been more than a long pull, and I do apologize for it taking forever in 2 days.
Hey, Courtney. This is Alicia. Yeah, no, I mean, we've been together working on it since the beginning of it. That's been what I can't remember, like maybe 3 years ago now, 3 or 4. But I think it's gonna be really good for the state and for these rural areas, these rural hospitals and ERs that maybe, they're not even trauma centers. And I was really impressed with the presentation at the last GQuip meeting that AU did about their training programs. And I was like, they basically have done March Pause. This is awesome. We need to work together and tap into that resource because, being one of the, trial run instructors, it was hard. It's a lot of time. And it's time that's taken out of our day jobs. And it's just really hard to get everybody across the state together that much in person. So I think I'm glad that y'all have been persistent and diligent and haven't given up on it. I think it's gonna be a really good thing when it's all finished. So and I'm just really thankful that there's been more people like with AU and stuff that it's kind of like we don't have to do it ourselves. There are other people that are trying to do the same thing. So let's all work together and not work in silos, which honestly speaks to what this whole committee is about. Because before we had the 3-4 subcommittee, it's like, okay, well, we're kind of all out here and we're all a part of GQuip and the trauma commission and we're trauma centers, but like we feel like we're kind of doing our own thing. And now we have a place where we can all communicate together and share ideas, and we're not working isolated in silos. So I think that that's awesome. I'm glad that it's gotten some more movement behind it, and I think we're gonna really be able to complete March Pause and have a finished product out there. So good job, thank you. Um, anything else on March Pause before I move on? I guess not. I'll take silence as a no. All right. So the next on the agenda is the Pennsylvania Trauma Foundation consult visits, and kind of just reevaluating the ACS system consult visit when they came a couple years ago. And so from their recommendations, we then formed that survey that we've talked about the last few meetings. And I think that survey was really helpful, especially having Nita Ham's kind of driving force behind it of getting what I think like was it 96% response rate or something like that? It was really high. It was impressive. So, and a lot of it was non-trauma centers. So that's really kind of what we want to see too, is getting everybody involved. I don't have a whole lot of update on that. I was gonna kind of lean on Liz, but she's not on the call. But does anybody else have any updates on that? If not, there was something that I was gonna kind of talk about. Um, okay. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's trying to talk.
Hey, this is Dawn at Polk Medical Center. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We are actually scheduled with the PTSF, June the 10th. They are coming to do our revisit they came in 22, so they're coming back, in June. And I have part of my paperwork, for them, the application is in back. So those visits are in progress.
Good. Yeah, I thought I remembered it being this upcoming June, so that's not too far from now. And I think they're coming back to 3 of the original 5 centers. Is that right?
Yes, and they're all around this area, because they gave us 3 days, June 10th, 11th, and 12th. And said they would start with one and go to the other. Good try again. We're looking for.
Sorry, it sounded like somebody else. Is it Dawn? Is it?
Hear me?
It's really choppy.
Yeah, they're coming June the 10th, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, well, I can't wait to hear back from their second visit, and I think this has just been a really good partnership with them. So they've got a really strong lower level system. So I just, and again, I appreciate the commission for, footing the bill for them to come, and basically what the ACS isn't doing for level 4 is we're going to supplement that. So I think that's awesome. Well, Kelly, or that may be, I don't know, I can't see new business. Is there, did you get Gabby? Yeah, thank you. Okay, there's nothing really. Okay, cool. So, well, I think this is a good time to bring up, and Kelly, I kind of may have you talk more about it, but basically, Kelly Vaughn did a really awesome presentation at the WAVE conference. And that put on by ESO.
Yes.
And Kelly had sent me the PowerPoint, but is it okay if we send that, if Gabby can send that out to everybody? Because I think it'll be really good for everybody to look at it. But I don't want to go through every single thing on the PowerPoint, but it's really good to just recap what all we've done, what all we've accomplished, and then what we want to get done in the future. So, but Kelly, do you want to just give like a brief summary of what your presentation was?
I can. So, ESO
Sorry to put
asked,
you on the spot.
oh, you're fine. Well, I just did it yesterday, so it's fresh on my mind.
Good.
ESO asked us to describe the role that the level 3 and 4 centers had in a trauma system. So with Super Gabby's help, we created this PowerPoint, and I'm gonna share one slide because this will kind of make you all understand. Sometimes we forget the work we do, and when I started doing this, it it just brought back what all we've done. So these are all the projects that this level 3-4 committee have either pushed for, developed, or um, we have finished. And so we've collaborated with different people, and it has taken a village to get all of this done, and it's taken all of the centers, and it's taken buy-in from our administrators and our trauma program managers and our medical directors and the commission's assistance as far as funding goes. So if you think about it, we started this journey about 4 years ago, and to accomplish what we've accomplished is pretty amazing. So the readiness cost survey, ACS came, we've developed a mentorship program among the trauma program managers and the connection group that Rachel is over and does a fabulous job with. You've got the inter-rater reliability that's coming this summer for the level 4s to help with data accuracy, the level 4 trauma visits from PTSF, and then Nita's job with the comprehensive needs assessment, which was huge. I'm going to skip forward because this is just stuff I talked about. But ACS did have some rural recommendations that I believe is our driving force as the level 3-4, and we need to come back to what have we accomplished and where do we go from here. And Courtney, there's a large EMS focus here that we may need to determine how EMS and trauma hospitals work together. So recruitment, retention, and then rural aspect of EMS and trauma hospitals. We've done this assessment. I'm going to skip through this, but how we ensure our involvement in the statewide trauma system plan, I believe that's through the RTACs. And so I can just, in full transparency, our RTAC is, we are in search of a coordinator, and I hope that once we get one, we can work with other more rural RTACs and make sure that we have a voice there. The educational programs, it sounds like Courtney's making progress there, so hopefully that will help. And I did think it interesting that Nita's survey found that 89% of the emergency medicine providers wanted education on the polycomplex trauma patient. So they're asking for it, but like Alicia said, everybody's so busy. It will be interesting to see how much time they take to actually do this program. But at least we have the survey to push back and say, you've asked for this, here it is for free. You know, what's the problem now? So one thing that I think we all need to remember too is that the commission has granted everything we've ever asked for. So we need to stay positive and focused and driving forward on whatever it is we need to do, what our next steps are. So I'm going to skip through that. But this is just a map of where we were and where we are. So we've come a long way. And I would venture to say we've come a long way in the last 4 years. But I mean, that's basically it, Dr. Register.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. I mean, it really, when I was going through that just now while you were, talking through it, it really is impressive. And I feel like right now, maybe it's just me and other people have kind of taken the reins, which is great. But I know just from my perspective, I've felt like I have stalled. I've kind of peaked during this stalemate. And Kelly, like you said, the commission has given us everything we've asked for. And look how much we've all gotten done together in the last 4 years. So I think now is a good time for us all to just kind of reevaluate, okay, this is what we've gotten done. Here's just what the ACS and what like Pennsylvania trauma systems coming down, like with the fours. Let's, let's see what are the biggest needs, which it sounds like EMS involvement, like us coordinating together, like pre-hospital and hospital, and then standardizing trauma care throughout rural Georgia, which is done through education. So like March Pause and kind of speaking the same message throughout the whole state. And it's not like, oh, well, this is how we do it here and that's how they do it there. And we understand resources are going to be different, but I think that's where March Pause comes in, where it's like, okay, let's teach you how you can still accomplish the same goals of care with the resources you have. And I think that's what makes March Pause so unique, is it's not bringing in other stuff that they don't have in their own trauma bay. It's let's use what you actually have to treat the patients. Um, so, but what I would ask from the rest of the group is if y'all could be thinking of what goals would you like to see us accomplish over the next, year and 3 years? And then who would like to help get more involved? If there's any TMDs on the call that would like to talk, reach out to me, and because I could definitely use some help. I think that, a lot of us have been talking lately about like, okay, well, let's get, if we did like a chair and then a vice chair and then maybe like a past chair, and that way we could rotate and there wouldn't be like either one, a stark change in leadership, and two, there'd be like a training year to get your feet wet and figure out, okay, how does it work kind of behind the scenes a little bit more? Because I love being as involved as I am, but I definitely need help. And being more involved has helped me learn more and feel like I'm doing a better job as a TMD at my own center. So if there's any TMDs out there on this call that want to email me, or text me, or call me afterwards, that'd be awesome. But anyways, so that's one of my goals, is let's set up kind of more leaders in this group to help share the responsibilities, because I know I need some help. So, well, tell you what, Gabby, are you able to email out Kelly's presentation to the rest of the group, and that way everybody can have it to look over? And what do y'all want to say as far as, I guess the next meeting is in July, is that right?
Yes, I can email that out. And the next meeting is July 18th,
Okay,
virtual at 8:30.
okay. I'd like to meet before 3 months from now to, I'd like to, have some more communication before then, and that way we can go over like these goals and what do we want our next projects to be. And that way maybe we've got some more actual like tangible asks by the July meeting. So, Gabby or Kelly, what do y'all think's the easiest, most straightforward way do we need to set up another Zoom call, maybe like a month from now, or just do it like email? Everybody can kind of email some ideas to like one person, and then we can kind of pile them all together.
Gabby, I just sent you the shortened version of that PowerPoint, and Gabby has been the master coordinator, facilitator of several projects here lately that she's had to herd a bunch of cats on. So I would be interested to know what you find is the easiest way to get a lot of people's information in a timely manner.
A survey is probably the best way to get a lot of information and feedback from people. And then once you get those results, I'd set a deadline for the survey, get the results, and then have a meeting to discuss those. That would be my recommendation.
On the last two slides of that PowerPoint that I sent to Gabby, those are the last two slides are the components of the ACS rural survey that we have not addressed at all. And so, and of course they're hard. Those are not going to be the easy wins. So we've got it. It's going to take brainstorming, and it may take thinking outside the box, or all of us with all of our different perspectives to share any tidbit of information we may have heard about, seen in some of our other meetings. Liz will tell you nothing's off the table. So throw it out there. We can research it. We can try or look. I mean, I would say any option is open.
Kelly, are you talking about like educational or training that's going on in our areas?
Well, so yesterday in presenting this case, or in this PowerPoint, one of them is rescue stops. ACS recommended, and Courtney, this is EMS too, that facilities and ambulances, we create some sort of rescue stop where a critical trauma patient does a brief stop at a smaller facility for airway, breathing, circulation, and keeps going. There's no need for the whole EMTALA. You got to go through the whole transfer process, but it's a brief stop, maybe not even get out of the ambulance and keep going, get what you need and keep going. That blew everybody's mind yesterday in the talk, and everybody, there was a lot of, well, how do you do that? And I said, well, that's ivory tower ACS talking, but is there a way to do that? I don't know.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, Rachel just put in the chat, I love the idea of rescue stops. I remember that exact situation. It's probably been 2 or 3 years ago, but at my hospital, we had that exact situation. There was a patient, I want to say like that was in Tifton or somewhere further south of Cordial. They had already been accepted, transfer up to Macon, but like they ran out of epi in the truck. And so they had to stop at our hospital. And the whole intention was not to come to our ER and get reevaluated. It was just give them epi and keep going up the road. But because of fears of like EMTALA and not giving a, initial evaluation, whatever, that's required legally, it was like they ended up staying at our facility, getting a whole nother evaluation. And then Macon was like, where are they? So anyways, I think that if, again, kind of standardizing what we do across the state, and facilities knowing like, hey, this is okay. You're not going to get in trouble for not doing a full evaluation. But I think, definitely that would tie in the lawyers and kind of figure out, okay, how can we do this appropriately? And as long as we do this, and this, and like we're covered kind of thing. But I think for patient care, that's absolutely the best way to go.
There's information in there, Courtney, on mutual aid agreements too. And I think those have kind of gone by the wayside, but I don't know what it would be called now or what it looks like, but that's on that list.
So Gabby, I guess if kind of a smaller group of us want to put together some survey questions, and then you can send it out. And so before the July 18th meeting, we can put those results together in a presentation, and kind of much like the resource and demographic survey we did, like, hey, what do y'all want to see happen, and how can we accomplish that, and what are our top priorities, and go from there. I think, Gabby, a survey is a great idea, so we'll try to put that together maybe in the next month. Is that realistic?
That sounds good to me. And if you guys want to meet earlier, then we can definitely look at some some dates. So that's not a barrier at all.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see, I think I just saw where it said Rachel hand had left, so I don't know if she was having trouble with her connection and trying to log back in, but I was about to go to her to see if she had any updates for the Trauma Connections group. But Christy, are you on?
Yeah, I had them this time
Oh,
around.
great. Awesome, thank you.
So we do meet every month on the third Wednesday at 11. It's usually about 30 minutes. We typically have about 12 people that meet with us and join on. We did not meet in February because of the GQuit meeting. It fell on the same week. But most of the discussions that we've had, some of them we've kind of already resolved, but there was, I did do a reminder that the annual call for data is open, and for a lot of the level 4s, we have to get assistance from ESO to get that submitted. So you need to put in your support tickets pretty quickly because I mean, I put in a support ticket for assistance last week and I haven't even heard back from them. It does take them a while. And then there was discussion about the Q-centrics. There was a little bit of confusion about when that was going to start. And we did get some clarification, I think, from Liz that we were waiting for all of the level 4 centers to get their contracts signed and we would all start together at the same time. And that they will only be doing IRR. They will not be doing any registry data input. And then the Justin from Piedmont Henry has been doing a lot of stuff with the report writer and kind of looking at the like quarterly reports and the NSA questions versus the V5 running reports. It doesn't represent true numbers. He's been talking to Marie at DPH and also ESO about adding queries to the report to kind of drill down better. There was, and Justin, I don't know if you're on here. I think you're the one that mentioned there's a PRQ report writer module from V5 that is available, but you have to request a quote from ESO if that's something that you wanted added. I think a lot of questions that a lot of the 3s and 4s, or especially 4s, have is about report writer and about, you know, like when we see stuff from our quarterly report, it doesn't always, like, we might not have all those options to even run that report. And building reports, I think there's a learning curve there with report writer for a lot of the 4s, especially new trauma program managers, being able to know how to utilize that one module. And then the other discussion was about bingo size. There were a few of us that attended the Matter of Balance training, and that kind of stemmed off the bingo size discussion. I think bingo size worked really well for a lot of people, and now there's some other facilities that are interested in that. And did the state or did the Trauma Commission and the Injury Prevention want to continue bingo size or move towards Matter of Balance or do both? So several of us did attend the Matter of Balance training, and that seems a little bit more feasible to start with if it's a little bit difficult for you to get bingo size up and running. Looks like Justin said he had a comment in there. He has not met with Marie.
Hey, Christy.
Hi.
Hey, I met with Marie and showed her what that report was asking for. So essentially that first query they were asking for included your transfers out of your facility. So I told her that they should modify that second query portion to the PRQ admissions. And then that way, when you're comparing the two reports, the two numbers that you're going to have the difference of will be your actual non-surgical admission percentage. And that way you're not looking at two separate numbers or trying to calculate a third number in there. So she's going to update the instructions in the reporting. And then I did build a statistical report that looks really, really easy. So if anybody wants a screenshot of it, I can just send the screenshot to the group, and you can build it out in your registry. I think most of that stuff should already be there. And one thing we noticed when I took this role a little 2 years ago is that we were having issues with what our report writer had uploaded to it initially. It was not the correct PRQ package for our level 3. So it's just something to be mindful of if you're looking at some of your reports and potentially asking some additional questions and making sure that your package that they sent you for your PRQ is correct.
And that's all I had. Although I do want to encourage everyone, even if you might not have questions, I think there's a lot of people that can provide input to those that do have questions. So, anyone is from the level 3 and 4 is welcome to join and ask questions or give support during those meetings.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy, and Justin. I think that's some good work that's come out of that group. So, okay, well, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or bring up? Otherwise, we can end a little early. Let's see, Justin's saying he can send the screenshot of his stat report. Yeah, I think honestly, helping share information as far as doing the PRQs and things like that is very helpful. I know we struggled our first ACS consult visit, and I think we're a little more used to how to fill it out and different kind of nuances that they ask about. But yeah, sharing information is always helpful. So again, we're not doing it the same thing alone separately. Okay, well, if there's nothing else that anybody wants to go over, then I think the next steps are gonna be, we'll get a survey together with Gabby and we'll send it out, before, a month from now. And that way we can have some good information to bring back and talk about and have some tangible asks for the next meeting. All right. I guess the meeting's adjourned. Y'all don't forget to sign in with the QR code or click the link so you get credit for being here. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you.